Hello and a very warm welcome back to this, the seventh tie in the round of 16 for the Sport for Business Super Quiz 2020. This is one of the biggies. It was a highlight when it came out of the hat, and today we are delighted to welcome the teams from OTB Sports, otherwise known as Off the Ball, and the team from GAA headquarters. So without further ado, we'll get to meet the teams, and first off I'll go to Anton Hyland, captain of the GAA team.
Hi everybody, I'm Anton Hyland. I'm the IT manager for the GAA. I just want to wish my dad a happy birthday today and my niece's birthday yesterday, while I can. Rob, I just want to say I've watched a few of the quiz so far. You're doing a great job, and I'm hoping that flattery will give us a bit of an advantage later on in the quiz.
Good. Money works better, but flattery is nice as well. And the rest of the GAA team?
Hello, I'm Enda Shield and I'm with the GAA ticket office. So I think we have a Herculean task here ahead of us today. So
I'm Aidan. I'm in the ticketing team as well for GAA, and I think I was dragged on as a last resort, so confidence is low.
Okay, and over to the team from OTB Sports as well, led off by the magical source of all knowledge on the radio, John Duggan.
Good morning, everybody, and I'm sure I've forgotten the knowledge by the time we get to 11:45 this morning. But I'm broadcaster with OTB and News Talk, and delighted to be here and taking on the great GAA. We know it's the best sport in the world, and luckily I've got two crack teammates beside me to carry me through this war of attrition with the Gaelic Athletic Association.
And those two teammates are?
Well, Phil's not going to go first, so I'm Will O'Callaghan again, broadcaster and presenter with OTB Sports. My intention is to try and lose this quiz because I want to try and keep my pass for Croke Park for the summer, and I think going out in the round of 16 will probably help.
Very good. And I'm Phil Egan from OTB Sports, broadcaster with Today FM, and I kind of with Will there. We don't want to upset the GAA.
Great. I love the excuses coming in earlier, and the first question is even thrown in. You've all been taking hints from Jose Mourinho and not from Davy Fitz. But the format of the competition then, before we get underway, there's 8 rounds of question. Each one will be preceded by a starter question, which will be a big number. If you win that, you get the opportunity to have first shot at each of the questions. There'll be 3 questions in each round. If you get it right on your score, it's worth 5 points. If you get it wrong, it goes over to the opposition, and if they score on a rebound, it's worth 3 points. So with 8 rounds to go, we've got a few questions to get through. It has been a tough competition so far, but we've got 6 of the teams already through to the quarterfinals. Number 7 will now be decided. So without further ado, and the very best of luck to all the competitors. Okay, the starter round on the general knowledge round, starter question, is a question relating to the English Football League. How many points separate the teams in 6th place from the team in 22nd place in the EFL? So the team in the last playoff position down to the team in the top of the relegation positions. How many points separate them as we stand this morning?
Is that in the Championship, Rob, or from League 2 up?
Sorry, that's in the Championship. Yes.
Championship.
Preston in 6th place and Charlton in 22nd place as things stand at the moment. So I'll give you a couple of seconds and then I'll count you in before you all hold up your pieces of paper simultaneously. And we'll count you in from 3, 2, 1. 24. 18, sorry, I just moved the camera over there, 13, 16, okay. The correct answer is 17, so we've got the GAA taking up both sides of that comfortably. Well done, Enda and Aidan, and that gives the general knowledge. First round, first shot to the GAA. Okay, the first question. Who is credited as being the inventor of television?
John Logie Baird.
John Logie Baird gets you 5 points. I would start off with a nice gentle one. Okay, what was the currency of Portugal before the advent of the euro? Currency of Portugal.
Escudo, is that something like that?
I'm not sure.
Peso in Spain, wasn't it?
Pace in Spain, yeah.
Yeah.
Lira in Italy.
I think the Escudo.
You go with it, Anton.
Yeah, we go with Escudo.
Take Escudo as your final answer, and that's another 5 points on the board.
Well
Well done. And third question in the general knowledge round: what is the name of the ruling royal family of Monaco, home of the Monaco Grand Prix? Family name of the ruling royal family.
Oh, is it Casaraghi?
Yeah, I don't know.
Back to the Monaco Grand Prix.
What does I have?
Casaraghi?
We'll go with Casaraghi. Unfortunately, that's not the right answer. So that goes over to the team from OTB Sports.
Lads, is it Rainier?
I think it might be, John. I'm not 100%, but I think it is.
100%. So
Okay, we'll go with Rainier.
Go with Rainier. Prince Rainier was the first name, but his family name his actual name was Rainier Grimaldi. So Grimaldi was the family name, as it is with Prince Albert, who is still there. So at the end of the first general knowledge round, the GAA off to a flyer with 12 points on the board, and OTB Sport yet to hit the target, but it's only a matter of time. Okay, the second question, starter question at the top of the popular culture round, is a question around baseball. How many runs were scored in total in last season's Major League Baseball World Series between the Astros and the Nationals?
It's a 7-game series, isn't it?
It is a 7-game series. Okay. You've had time to have your thinking caps on, and I'll count you in from 3, 2, 1. 25, 82, 37, 90, 33. Hold them up there for a second now. The correct answer between the Astros and the Nationals was 63. 63, which looks as though 82, and Will has got you in the closest there. Not terribly close. Gentlemen.
Close enough, Rob. Close enough.
what a year. 82.
Okay, so and it did go the full 7 as well. Okay, so 2 points on the board now for OTB Sports, and you're into your popular culture round. Tell me, which city is home to the worldwide headquarters of Spotify?
I have a sneaky feeling, lads, this might be... they have a few offices, but I'm not sure New York is their main one. I've got some sneaky feeling it's somewhere in Germany.
Where are you thinking?
I think it might be in Berlin, but I'm not 100% sure. Because I remember talk about the fact that they were using an EU base as their main one, but I'm just not 100%.
What was your gut, Will?
What do you think, Phil?
Yeah, I'd say go with, if you have an inkling.
Is it in Berlin, Rob?
We'll take Berlin as the final answer. Incorrect, I'm afraid. So it goes over to the GAA. Can't vouch for the fact that there is a GAA team located in this city, but there probably is, of some description.
I'm thinking San Francisco, being the home of technology.
Yeah.
Could be, but I was going to say something. Yeah, go on.
We'll
Go
with
San Francisco.
Good logical guess. Right first letter, but wrong city. It's Stockholm. Sweden is the home.
Right.
So you were on the right lines, Will, with the European angle. Okay, question 2, popular culture again. Liam Gallagher released his debut solo album, As You Were, in which year? Liam Gallagher, not no.
Any thoughts, lads?
Haven't a breeze.
This is where we were hoping for sporting questions. Any thinking, John?
They'll be coming.
About 2010.
I have a feeling it's probably a bit earlier than that. The Oasis broke up in like the late 90s. Any thoughts, Phil, before we lodge in a guess?
No, I'm thinking probably mid-noughties, are you thinking? Or
Maybe 05 or 05, 06 or 07.
Okay. We go for 2005 as a guess, split the middle.
Go 2005. Incorrect, I'm afraid. So this one goes back over to the GAA. If you're well up on your Gallagher Brothers discography, you will know that As You Were was first released in which year?
I would have said 2010 or 11 would be my
Yeah, when did they break up? They broke off shortly after their Slane gig, which I was at. I'm trying to think when it was. It was the same year as the Lions tour match, because I remember looking at the Lions that morning.
The Lions were 03 and 07 and 11, weren't they?
It wasn't 11, I wouldn't think. That's
Oh, well,
Did he release his album?
I'll go 2010. 2010 is what I was thinking around then.
Take 2010. Okay, I'm afraid that you were far too creditable for his output. His first debut album was not released until 2017. He was hanging around Man City too much. Noel, on the other hand, was quite prolific, but no, Liam was too busy partying, allegedly. Third question in the popular culture round, and again, it's within the remit of OTB. You either know this one, I think, or you don't. It's a Coronation Street question. What is the name of Roy's Cafe in Coronation Street?
Not Roy's Cafe, so no.
Oh,
I think
it's alliteration as far as I know, Phil.
I think it's Roy's Rolls, isn't it?
I think it is too. Yeah. What do you think, John?
I don't know, lads. Some useless at the moment.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right, Phil. It's definitely a play on words, and I think it's Roy's Rolls.
Yeah. That is very impressive. It is indeed Roy's Rolls. So
get in.
So at the end of round 2, we're nice and tight. The GAA team are on 12 points and OTB on 7. So plenty to play for. And we move in now to the first of our, this is the sporting general knowledge round. But in order to get there, you have to guess how many passing yards has Patrick Mahomes thrown in his NFL career to date? How many passing yards has last year's Super Bowl winner Patrick Mahomes thrown in his career to date? Kansas City Chiefs superstar, handy enough with the baseball as well. And I'll count you in from 3, 2, 1. 1,400, 2,000, 2,000, 3,000, 10,000, 9,050. And Aidan, you are in the house with that. His actual total, very close, Phil, but it was 9,412. So you just hit that one. Well done, Aidan. So you're in for the sports round. You get 2 points on the board straight away. Okay. First question. How many Grand Tour stage wins has Ireland's Sam Bennett scored in his cycling career, his professional cycling career?
Oh.
How many stage wins in the Grand Tours?
He's won. I think he got a couple last year in the Giro.
Couple last year.
He hasn't won the Tour de France, I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
I would say
4.
3 or 4 would be my...
3 or 4. Yeah. I'd go 3.
Go with 3. Yep. Final answer? Not right, I'm afraid. Goes back over. See if OTB can get it on the rebound. How many Grand Tour stage wins has Sam Bennett scored?
I think, lads, he's got 3 at the Vuelta, which was 2 last year. And he definitely has 1 in Spain. So I'm just not sure if it's more than 4.
I can't say with certainty, lads.
Did you win any in the Giro d'Italia?
Yeah, I think he's got... I think it's 4, but it could be 5. I'm just trying to remember last summer. I remember when he got his 4th. I remember reading it on the news.
Yeah, so it's either 4 or 5, you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Now, where is that big coin that you toss when it comes to something like this?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's 4, Phil, but it could be 5.
Yeah, if you remember the 4, that's...
He's definitely done 4.
Unless you did the 5th when you were off one day.
It's possible. I could have been on holidays the day of the 5th.
You're never off.
Are you happy enough to guess 4 and blame me if it's 5?
Yeah.
We'll try 4, Rob.
Okay, you can blame him all you like. It was in fact 5.
Oh,
2 last year and 3 from the previous
yeah.
year. So well done, Sam. Hard luck, Phil. Okay, question 2. And again, this is back in GAA Towers. How many times has an English club won the UEFA Women's Champions League or its predecessor, which was the Women's Cup? The UEFA Women's Champions League and the Women's Cup. How many times has an English club won it?
I'm not clue, guys.
No,
Do we even know when it would have started?
I have no idea, to be honest.
No, Arsenal are competitive, aren't they?
Arsenal, Chelsea, and the English league would have been very strong, I would have thought, historically. I know the likes of certain Norway would have had a very strong international team, but I don't know whether the club scene is strong. It could be big.
It'd be a total.
Yeah.
I don't know.
15, 20, I don't know.
Go 20. As good a guess as any.
Yeah, we'll go 20.
And as wrong as most. Over to OTB. How many times has an English club won the Women's Champions League or its predecessor?
So Arsenal have won it. Because
Emma Byrne.
Yeah, Emma Byrne has won it. Okay. Like in the last few years, it's been dominated by French clubs.
Lyon have won it, yeah.
PSG, Barcelona. I don't know if have Chelsea.
I wouldn't say it's that many.
I think it's low enough.
So, have Chelsea or City won it? I don't think they have they?
Doncaster Bells,
Yeah. I think Chelsea have come close, but haven't won it in recent seasons. And Arsenal dominated kind of the decade or so before that. But I don't know how many they actually converted into European Cups. I think it was mainly leagues and FA Cups they won, just from remembering Emma Byrne's, the end of her career, Phil.
She had won it once.
Yeah.
So do you think maybe it's just...
It could be just them, but did anyone else win it earlier? I'm not sure. I kind of only really followed in the Champions League era of it.
Also, it's probably not that long in existence, so I would say maybe just one.
Yeah, we go with one.
Go on.
Go with one, and that secures you 3 points.
Excellent.
On the rebound. Well done, and good logic as well. You're right. Lyon have dominated it completely in recent years. Arsenal were the only winners of the tournament so far, back in 2007. So that's 3 points for the team. And the third question in the sporting round, and it's back to the GAA again. 4 cities in America have had 2 teams compete against each other in the World Series. One of them was New York. One of them was San Francisco. Well, San Francisco played against Oakland, so they're right side by side. One of them was Chicago when the White Sox took on the Cubs. What was the 4th? Only one other city that has had 2 teams compete in the World Series, the equivalent of the Super Bowl or the All-Ireland final.
Thinking LA, would Boston?
Only Boston don't have a second team, I don't think.
No.
The Red Sox. I can't think of a single LA team, but...
The Dodgers?
Oh, yeah.
It's the only city that I can think that would normally, how many NFL teams do they have now?
It's not a sport.
Or it could be somewhere completely random. That's it. Yeah. We go with LA?
I suppose it's the obvious one regarding population. Yeah, LA.
Yeah.
We'll take LA. It is obvious, but it is not correct. Go back into OTB. Can you dredge from the memory banks which other city it might have been?
Is it an American city or an MLS city?
It is an American city, yeah.
Okay. So St. Louis, Miami, Boston, lads. Any thoughts?
Wouldn't be Boston.
Wouldn't be Boston. So St. Louis have the
Cardinals.
They have the Cardinals, but Washington. Who the Washington got? The Nationals.
Yeah, they've only one NFL team though. I presume, Rob, this could be across any sport that's a World Series, right?
No. It's the Baseball World Series.
Baseball. Okay, yeah.
Baseball World Series, yeah. But it doesn't need to be, obviously, in the modern era.
Yeah, I've a feeling it's a franchise who moved. I'm trying to think.
Sorry, the three: Chicago.
It's not LA, it's not New York, it's not Chicago, and it's not San Francisco.
Correct. But you don't get any points for that.
No. I don't think Dallas had two teams, lads.
Houston.
Atlanta, maybe. Oh, this is tricky. Because this is definitely a franchise that's moved. So,
Do you know? I'm trying to think. Tampa. Because you have Tampa Bay, or you have the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, or the Tampa Rays, they're called. And don't Florida have?
will that count as one city, though? I'm not a baseball stronghold, Florida either.
Yeah. Will Florida have the Marlins?
Yeah. Has a franchise moved outside Washington, D.C., I wonder? Again, I don't really associate Washington with baseball.
Okay. Well, just have to take a punt or a bunt.
Any thoughts, John?
St. Louis would be the one of my heads because I think they're that they're that kind of baseball area.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been there for a long time. There was a lot of Kansas City Chiefs or like as well, or something around that area, you know.
Do you want to go with St. Louis then, Phil?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll try St. Louis then, Rob.
Okay, it took a while, but that may go down as one of the more impressive rebound answers because it was indeed the St. Louis Braves against the St. Louis Cardinals.
Brilliant.
In 1944.
Nice work, John.
I guess you weren't there, John, but that's an extra 3 points, which moves us on to, at the end of round 3, the GAA on 14 points and the OTB Sports team now on 13 points. Closest round, closest competition that we've had so far. One more round before we get to the halfway point, and it's the history round. The question to bring us into the history round is how many goals were scored in the English Premier League in the 2018-19 season? So last year's fully completed Premier League season, how many goals? And I will count you in from 3, 2, 1. And your answer.
You're breaking up, Sarah.
Sorry, John. 51825.
Breaking up on me. I don't know about anybody else.
All right. We've got you back again now. Okay, John, the question was, how many goals were scored in last year's Premier League? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you now.
Okay, cool. So how many goals? So I'll get you to write out your answer and then we'll lift it up between everybody else. Okay, we'll go again. 3, 2, 1. Okay, 2,000, 1,500. Okay, the correct answer, and it's Aidan is in the house again. 890. The correct answer, 1,072. It was a record, but that's the closest one. So history, 2 points in there as the starter question, and the history round. In what decade? We've lost John. We might just hang on 1 second then and see. Well, I'll ask the question anyway, and we'll see if we get it from the GAA side. In which decade did Ireland join the United Nations? Which decade did Ireland join the United Nations?
Well, it was 70s with the EU anyway, or the ECEs. So
when was the United Nations founded? It was obviously founded after the war.
After the World War. So I would be thinking it's the 50s, 56 is what I had in my head.
50s would be my,
Go with the 50s. Well done. 1955 was the actual year Ireland joined the United Nations. So well done on that one. Okay, question 2. In what year did Nelson Mandela come to Ireland for the first of his 3 visits?
Wow. Was he here before he was in prison, I wonder? Hardly. When was he released?
The thing was it 1990? He was released.
I thought it was around 1990. Yeah.
So one I'd be thinking then, but I doubt he was here before that, so I'd say 91.
Would he be getting to us that quick?
Get the visa and all that.
So
I would have said that 91 would be my guess as well.
Okay, I'll go with it.
91. I'm afraid that was not the year of his first visit, so it goes over to OTB. Nelson Mandela's first visit to Ireland. He's been here 3 times. The first time was in this year. Which year?
Well, he was definitely there in 1990, lads, because he was there in Italia 90.
Did he come to Ireland that year?
Yeah, he was here in Italia 90. Yeah.
That's surely the earliest he could have been here, because he was only released in like late 89, I think.
Yeah, early 90, February 1990. So unless he came before, it's 1990.
You happy with that, Phil?
Yep.
1990 is the correct answer, and nice little bit of colour behind it as well. So well done. He came to collect his freeman from the city of Dublin, which had been granted in the millennium year. So that's 3 points in there on the rebound for OTB Sports, keeping it competitive. And the final question in the history round, bringing us into the halfway point. If Micheál Martin becomes Taoiseach, how many former Fianna Fáil leaders have held that position? I have no doubt that they were all in attendance at Croke Park, but you might not have seen them, gentlemen. How many Fianna Fáil Taoiseach have there been?
Wow.
Until this point?
Counting Micheál.
Not counting Micheál.
Not counting Micheál.
Unless since 11 o'clock he has been elected as Taoiseach. I'm not going to count him. Chickens and hatching and all of that.
I have all the modern ones up to the 80s, but
How
before
many was that?
you have Albert, Charlie, Bertie,
13.
Glenn Cowan, and then obviously De Valera, Jack Lynch. 6.
Cosgrave is Fianna Gael, wasn't he?
I think so. Lamass is another one, is it? It's probably 8 or 9, maybe. Not more.
Can't think of any. Well,
But De Valera, was he Taoiseach for a long time, was he? I think so.
yeah, twice, I think, at least.
We've no term limits, do we? You can go a few times.
Like a few of them went twice.
Just the individuals I'm looking for, though. How many years have held the position?
I'd say 9 or 10.
9, yeah.
We'll go with 9.
Yeah.
Not correct, I'm afraid. Chance again. OTB.
The answer is 7, lads.
Yeah. Yeah, I've 7 written down. There was nobody between Dev and Lamass, was there?
No.
Yeah.
He's some player, this Duggan boy.
Yep.
My goodness, if you'd only ever made it to line out for Tottenham Hotspur, John, there would have been multiple Champions League winners at this stage now. So that brings us to the end of the history round and right into the halftime mark. So at the moment now, we have with OTB having scored 6 points there, you move on to 19, and the GAA having got your 1 right and your starter question, an additional 7, you're on 21. So 21 plays 19 into the second half. This is the closest that we have been
replay
throughout the competition. No nerves, no pressure. Okay, just to get you ready, the 4 rounds that we have now in this second half will be geography, famous quotations, all of them coming from movies, then a specific movie round, and we'll finish it off with the sporting year. And I'll tell you at that point what the sporting year is going to be. So hopefully we will all be still in contention and it will come down to the wire with that. So to get us into the geography round, this is one that I'm sure you are completely on top of. How many players have played senior men's test cricket for Sri Lanka?
Oh, Ollie.
You get this right, John Duggan.
He wins the quiz.
I will crown you king of the world forever. Okay. How many players have played senior men's test cricket for Sri Lanka? I'm guessing that you will be guessing, so I'm going to count you in from 3, 2, 1. 700, 717. Okay. 9.
Good high, lads.
20. Okay. You've gone a little bit high there, and Aidan, with the low ball answer of 700, actually gets it. The actual number is only 150. The latest being Oshada Fernando, who is still in the current team. So
guessing that.
I know.
to get us into the geography round then, that's an additional 2 points on the board for the GAA. And the geography question, how many counties does the Wild Atlantic Way pass through? Or around, technically, I suppose. How many counties does the Wild Atlantic Way take in?
Does it go around to Waterford?
Initially I thought it did, but
10 not counting Waterford.
no, 10 not counting Waterford.
2, 3.
2.
I have 8. There's Donegal. It doesn't go into Derry. It finishes at Donegal. Can't the way down. Sligo, Mayo, Galway, Clare, Limerick.
Leitrim.
Yeah.
Okay, final answer, Japs.
1, 2, 3. I'd say 9.
I'm thinking 10.
Aidan.
Can we go through them? Cork, Kerry, Clare,
Limerick.
Limerick, Galway, Mayo,
Galway,
Sligo.
Mayo, Sligo, Donegal, Leitrim. It's 9, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, 9.
9.
Take with 9. Took a while, but you got there. 5 points, 9 counties.
Answer.
Okay. What is the longest river in the United States of America?
Mississippi.
Longest river in the United States.
Okay.
It's Mississippi, Missouri.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mississippi is the Missouri.
Missouri runs into the Mississippi, but it's all considered one river as far as I know. So.
The Mississippi.
The Mississippi?
Yeah.
Okay, the Mississippi, the Missouri is a tributary of the Mississippi River. So we will go with that. Correct answer. And finally, how many time zones are there in Russia?
Well, there's 6 in the States anyway, if that's any help regarding...
That's counting like Hawaii and stuff like that, which would be...
Yeah, it would be, yeah.
Way out. It's not something mad like Russia only have 1. It's all Moscow time.
Ooh.
Hardly, though.
Hardly.
I think so. God, it couldn't be like that. So you think it'd be an hour. What's the
difference between East and West?
Yeah.
I think Japan. Like
halfway around the globe.
Japan is what? How many hours back? 10.
Even Alaska, like, is almost.
It's all the way around, yeah.
Yeah, and like what's that? Is that 8 hours?
It's nearly 12. Alaska would be, I'd say, 11 or 12.
Say 11 because I'd be thinking 10. So
time zones, I would say what would it be? 4, I'd be guessing 4 or 5.
It's more, isn't it? I'd say it'd be more.
More than that, I'd say.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah.
Okay, I'll press you for an answer.
10.
Go with 10. Incorrect, I'm afraid. So a chance for OTB.
If only someone was in Russia.
Last year.
Who doesn't know?
You probably weren't in all of them anyway.
Well, you got to count in Kaliningrad because that's obviously one that we might not count in. Moscow, Kazan, Samara, Ekaterinburg. That's what, 5. You have to think I'd probably say it's 7.
Yeah, I was kind of half thinking 6, but yeah, Kaliningrad is only 2 hours ahead, and most of Russia then is 3, and obviously you have to go all the way over to the eastern zone. Then you're thinking about 7, John?
6 or 7, yeah. It's I would say 7.
I don't think they have half hours. I think it's Australia who have the half hours. So, what do you think, Phil?
I think that John decides you want to go 6 or 7.
Will will kill me, but I'll go with 7.
Okay, I was going to be generous and give you both because neither of them would be right. The correct answer is actually 11.
11.
So,
Right.
So a good strong geography round there for the GAA, considering you got in on probably the most wrong answer for the big number round that we've had so far, but it was right in the money. So we've got the GAA now on 33 and we've got OTB on 19. Okay, this is the famous quotations round, and all of these quotations come from the movies, but in order to get there, you have to tell me how many wins did Muhammad Ali record in his professional career? How many wins did Muhammad Ali mark down on his record as a professional fighter? And again, I doubt if any of us were at all of them. It would be a privilege if any of us were at any of them. I'll count you in for the number of his professional fight wins from 3, 2, 1. 26, 59, 34, and this one will go to Anton. 59, the actual correct number was 56 wins in his professional career. So the GAA stealing march there with these big number rounds. Okay, famous quotations. You have to tell me the movie that these quotations came from. First off, I'm the king of the world.
Titanic, isn't it?
Titanic, when they're at the front of the boat, isn't it?
Yeah. I think
Titanic is correct. Leonardo DiCaprio. The second one is what we've got here is failure to communicate.
Oh.
We've got here is failure to communicate.
Wouldn't mind, I was looking at movie quotes last week and I've seen it. I'm thinking it's a space one.
Space Cowboys, I was thinking myself, but that's a total.
Space Cowboys.
Sounds like something they'd say.
That's the Clint Eastwood one, is it?
Mm. But that is just a random stab in the dark. So
I haven't got what's coming to me here now.
Well, there's probably about 100,000 movies that have been made. So if it's a random guess, I'd say Space Cowboys is as good as any, but it's not the right one. So it goes over to OTB. Do you have any inspiration as to who might have uttered the words, what we have here is a failure to communicate?
Struggle. I know I've heard of it. I can't remember where.
I haven't got a Scooby, Phil, do you?
No. Like some sort of a political film.
Okay, hit us up with your favorite movie then, as a guess.
I'm trying to think of like relationship breakup movies, lads, and I can't, like Kramer versus Kramer or something like that. But any inspired guesses, you two?
No.
No, I know it's in my head, but I can't remember what it is.
I'll try Kramer versus Kramer. I don't think it is, though.
Okay, sorry to put you through that and to put you through this. It was Steve McQueen in Cool Hand Luke.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't have a clue at the time, but now, yes.
I know, yeah. Okay, and the third one is, I'm going to make him an offer he cannot refuse.
The Godfather, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Godfather.
The Godfather. Apparently, it makes it into The Godfather 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so that moves another strong round on to 12 points. So that's 45 points for the GAA now. And we need a bit of a surge from OTB on 19. But there's still 2 rounds to go. There is still enough tank in the gas. You're going to need to get them right, though. How many... The starter round, and this goes into the movie question, the starter question, or the movie round, the starter question, how many medal ceremonies were there in the Rio Olympic Games across the 3 areas of gymnastics? So you've got artistic gymnastics, rhythmic gymnastics, and trampolining. How many individual contests were there within that? How many medal ceremonies? So I'm going to count you in. Hopefully, Rhys McClenaghan will be in one of those in a little over 12 months' time. I'm going to count you in from 3, 2, 1. 20, 15, 17. And there is life in the contest because the correct number is 18.
Nice.
Will hits the board with 17.
Well done, Will.
Okay. Game on, gentlemen. The movie round. Okay. What was the name of Robert De Niro's character in Goodfellas?
Jimmy Conway.
Jimmy Conway, an authoritative answer from Mr. Duggan, and one which is absolutely spot on. Okay. Question 2. What is the rank of the character played by Domhnall Gleeson in the Star Wars series?
Okay, I should know this.
I don't know.
Yeah, so he's an Imperial commander, but I'm not sure if commander is the right rank for this because he changes between the second and third movie. But I'm going to kick myself if I don't get this now. Can I go for a high commander on this?
You can go for a
It's
high,
not right.
but it wouldn't be right, no. It goes over to GAA.
Any clue?
Commodore,
lads?
is it?
Have you seen the film even?
I've seen it. But
I'm sure my colleagues in IT are probably screaming at the screen.
In the movie, you can picture what Domhnall Gleeson looks like, but you just can't count the number of stripes on his arm or whatever indicator there would be.
Do they have admirals? Like, I assume he's a fairly high enough rank.
yeah, he had a fleet of ships, wasn't it? So Admiral or
then.
Commodore, I would say.
Okay, and again, I'll give you both. No, the name was General Hux. General Hux. Okay. Okay, this looks mathematically as though it might be an important question. It's for OTB. In which country is Charlie Chaplin buried in?
I think it's Switzerland, lads.
Yeah, I'm happy to go with Switzerland.
Yeah, I'll take your lead on that one.
It's the authority with which he says it. Switzerland is absolutely right. So an additional 12 points moves you on to 31 points, which is 14 points behind with 17 points on the table.
No pressure on the numbers rounds, lads.
And it's a sporting year question. The sporting year is 1998. The question to get you into that is, how many different nations have won medals at the World Rowing Championships?
Oh, come on.
How many different countries have won medals at the World Rowing Championships? I tell you that Ireland have won a total of 27 medals. The World Championships have been in place since the early 1960s. How many different countries have won either gold, silver, or bronze? And I will count you in for this important round. From 3, 2, 1. 130, 12, 82, 15, 24. Okay, the correct answer is 49 countries. So we weren't exactly flying it, but Anton from the GAA.
Well done, Anton.
24. 25.
Well done.
Well done, lads.
2 points. So we'll play it out. The sporting year is 1998. Who beat Ken Doherty in the final of the World Snooker Championships that year, depriving him of back-to-back titles?
Mark Williams, was it?
I'm not sure.
I haven't a clue.
I thought he won one. Or did Hendry beat him again after 97?
Well, it was Hendry. Hendry was pretty big back then, wasn't he?
Yeah, he beat Hendry in 97.
I probably would have watched this as a student.
Did Peter Ebdon beat him in one of them, no?
No, Ebdon didn't win until early 2000s, I'd say.
Mark Williams. Do we go with the obvious and go with Hendry? Or you thought Williams was the first thing that came out?
Yeah, but Hendry did win it again afterwards. I don't know. I go Mark Williams.
We'll take Mark Williams. It goes over to OTB Sports. It wasn't Mark Williams who beat Ken Doherty in that final.
John Higgins, lads, isn't it?
John Higgins, yeah.
Yeah,
John Higgins, yeah.
We need snookers, but
We do. We need a couple.
John Higgins it is. But there's pride. There's always pride. Okay, back to the GAA. How many games did Ireland win in the 1998 Five Nations Championship? That long ago. How many games?
It's rugby, I assume.
Yeah.
98. I don't think we were very much good back then, were we?
So we probably.
Can't even
One or
think.
two.
Yeah.
See, we had no Italy, so
Yeah, that's right.
we might have beat Scotland or Wales or something.
Scotland were good back then, though.
We got a wooden spoon, I'd say. Maybe one.
I guess one as well. Not
Yeah.
knowing which game.
Yeah, we'll go with one.
There was one. Not correct, I'm afraid. Which is potentially going to make it even harder. How many games did we win in that championship? OTB?
It's near 0.
I think it's 0. It's definitely not 2 because we were terrible that year. That was the year
Yeah.
before we changed coach.
Yeah, and Italy weren't in it either. They weren't in it till 99, so it's 0, isn't it?
We'll go with 0, yeah.
Okay, it is 0, which is another 3 points. Probably not one that you'd want to bring up in conversation with Keith Wood, who was captain in that year. Okay, and the third question, Kildare beat the All-Ireland champions of 95, 96 and 97 on their way to the All-Ireland final. But who did they lose to in that final?
Oh, and as a Kildare man,
I think it's Galway.
who did Kildare lose in the final? I didn't think they won. There was a match called off or something, I thought.
It was indeed Galway. So that brings us to a conclusion. An extra 5 points there, or an extra 5 points for the GAA, which moves them on to 52 with 7 in that round. And off the ball, it could have been so different, but with 6 points there, we end up on 37 points. So congratulations to you all. Thank you very much.
Well done, lads.
well done, lads.
Thanks, guys.
Back again next year. Congratulations to the GAA. You move on to the quarterfinals, and we'll be having the draw for that on Sport for Business on Monday morning. We've got one more round to go, but for now, our thanks to John, to Will, and to Phil from OTB, and our congratulations to Aidan, to Enda, and to Captain Anton from the GAA. Today's winners, the Sport for Business Super Quiz.